Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
This is a story about a big disagreement in the world. It started with a message online. The U.S. president used social media to send a strong message. He said that countries that work closely with a group called Brics would have to pay more tax. This extra tax is on goods they sell to the United States. This tax is called an additional tariff. This was a threat to many countries. At that exact time, leaders from the Brics countries were meeting far away in Brazil. They were having a big summit, talking about important plans for their group. When they saw the U.S. president's online threat, they were not quiet. They answered strongly. President Lula from Brazil, who was hosting the meeting, spoke for the group in a way. He said very clearly that the world today does not want an emperor. By this, he meant that one single country should not try to rule or control others. This moment was the start of a major global disagreement. It showed a split in the world. On one side is the United States. On the other side is the Brics Group. The Brics Group includes many important countries from different parts of the world. These countries are working together to become more powerful in the world economy. They want to trade more with each other and use their own money more. This big disagreement is about trade rules, money, and who has power in the world. The U.S. president wants to put America's interests first. The Brics nations want a world with more than one powerful leader. They are building their own strength. This situation is very important because it affects how countries work together and can change the future of global trade and relationships. We will learn more about why this disagreement happened and what it means in the next parts of this story. 2. A big threat. Following the first chapter, we look closer at the big threat from the U.S. president. He used social media to send a very strong message. It was a clear demand to countries around the world. He threatened to put a new tax on goods coming into the United States. This kind of tax on imports is called a tariff. The threat was specific. It would be an extra 10% on things that countries sell to the U.S. This extra 10% tax was for any country that seemed to support or work closely with the Brics Group. He stated clearly that there would be no exceptions to this new policy. Every nation connected to Brics would pay this extra tax. The timing of this important threat was very significant. The leaders from the Brics countries were having a special meeting or summit in Brazil at that time. They were discussing their plans and future together. The U.S. president sent his strong message right when their meeting was finishing. It was like sending a direct challenge at a key moment for the Brics group, just as they were trying to show unity and discuss their goals. This message fits clearly with the U.S. President's main policy idea. He calls this policy America First. The basic idea behind America First is that the United States government should always prioritize its own national interests above everything else. This means putting America's economy, American workers, and the needs of American people ahead of those of other nations in the world. It is a policy focused inward on the United States itself. Using these tariffs is a key tool in this America First policy. Tariffs are taxes added to goods that come into a country from abroad. The President uses these tariffs as a weapon in trade. By threatening to make imported goods much more expensive with high taxes, he tries to force other countries to change their trade rules or economic policies. He wants these changes to benefit the United States the most, even if it hurts other countries. So, the online message was a direct action, using tariffs as a threat to countries supporting BRICS. 3. What is BRICS? What is BRICS? BRICS is a group of important countries working together. The name comes from the first 5 countries that formed the group: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This cooperation started in 2001 as a way for these large, growing economies to share ideas and work on common goals. South Africa became a member in 2010. Over the years, BRICS has grown stronger and larger. In 2024, the group welcomed 5 more countries as full members: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Indonesia, and the United Arab Emirates. With these new additions, BRICS now includes 11 full member countries. The BRICS group is significant because of its size and economic power. The 11 member countries together are home to over 3.5 billion people. This is a very large share of the global population. Their combined economies are also huge, making up approximately 40% of the world's total economic activity. They also handle a large portion of global trade, around 24%. These nations possess vast natural resources that are important for the world. A key aim for BRICS countries is to build alternatives to the current international financial and trade systems. These systems have historically been dominated by Western countries and major institutions like the World Bank. BRICS members want to create their own ways of doing things because they feel the existing systems do not always serve their interests well. For example, they are actively working to use their own currencies for trade among themselves, reducing the need for currencies like the United States dollar. They are also developing new payment systems to make international transactions easier and less dependent on existing Western-controlled networks. This effort shows their desire for greater independence and a more equal role in the global economy. BRICS represents the growing confidence and power of many developing countries in the world today. They are uniting to challenge the old ways and seek a new global order that better reflects their interests and strength. They believe the world should have different centers of power, not just one or two. This makes BRICS a major player in global discussions about economy, trade, and power. The group is a symbol of the changing world, where more nations want to have a strong voice and make their own decisions about their future and their place in the world economy. 4. The leaders speak. The leaders of the BRICS countries spoke clearly after the threat from the U.S. president. They met and gave their answers to the world. The president of Brazil, Mr. Lula, spoke with strong feeling. He said that the world is now different. He said something very direct. The world does not want one country to be like an emperor. An emperor is a ruler who has complete power over everyone. Mr. Lula meant that no one country should try to control other nations or make threats to them. He said he did not think it was responsible or serious for the president of a very big country like the United States to use the internet to threaten countries around the world. Mr. Lula explained that the BRICS group is working to find a new way to organize the world economy. They want a system that is more fair and helps many countries, especially developing ones, not just the powerful ones that are already rich. He felt that BRICS is growing in importance, and this might make some established world powers feel uncomfortable or worried. But he said the main goal of BRICS is not to create problems, but to offer new possibilities for trade and finance for its members and other countries. Then, the President of South Africa, Mr. Ramaphosa, gave his response. He used calm and thoughtful words. He said that countries that have a lot of power should not seek revenge or try to punish other countries that are working for good things in the world. He was clear that the BRICS group is not trying to be against any other power. Mr. Ramaphosa said that BRICS does not want to compete in a negative way or try to harm other countries. He stated that he believed it would be possible for the BRICS countries and the United States to find a good agreement on trade and other matters by talking and finding common ground. He showed hope for diplomacy and peaceful talks. China, which is the largest economy among the BRICS members, also responded to the threat. A spokesperson for the Chinese government spoke for the country. China said that fighting wars about trade, using high taxes on goods, is not helpful for anyone. They said that trade wars have no winners, meaning everyone loses in the end. China believes that trade should be about cooperation, where both sides gain benefits. They used the phrase win-win cooperation to describe their idea of how trade should work. They also made it clear that BRICS working together is not aimed at any specific country outside of the group. Finally, Russia shared its point of view on the situation. A person speaking for the government in Russia said that the cooperation within the BRICS group is peaceful. They said that what BRICS countries do together has never been against any third country, and it will not be in the future. Russia sees BRICS as a group of countries that share similar ideas about the world. They want to work together based on their own interests, but without harming other nations. The words from the BRICS leaders showed that they were not happy with the threat from the U.S. president. They wanted to show that their group has goals for peace and fairness in the global economy, and that they will stand up for themselves. 5. The fight for money. For a long time, the U.S. dollar has been very important in the world. Countries use it to buy and sell things across borders. It is also used to keep money in banks or reserves. This gives the United States a lot of power in the world's money system. The BRICS countries want to change this. They think the dollar has too much power. They want to use their own money more when they trade with each other. This is a big part of their plan to build a different kind of world economy. BRICS countries are already working on new ways to trade without using dollars. They are trading more using their own currencies, like the Chinese yuan or the Brazilian real. This means they don't need to change their money to dollars first. They are also talking about building new systems for sending money between countries. Today, many countries use a system called SWIFT, which is mainly controlled by Western countries. BRICS wants a different way to send money that is not under that control. There are also plans for new places to buy and sell important things, like gold. They want a place that is outside the usual markets in the West. This new place could start in 2025. These steps are all part of a big plan. The BRICS group wants to make their own financial system stronger. They want to depend less on the U.S. dollar and the systems controlled by the United States and its friends. This is a key part of the fight for money we see happening in the world today. 6. A new power. The world was changing. For many years, one country, the United States, was the main big power. But now, other countries were becoming stronger and more important. These countries are often called the Global South. They are developing nations in different parts of the world, like Asia, Africa, and South America. These developing nations have grown a lot. Their economies are bigger now. They have many people, and they control important natural resources like oil and minerals. They are also using new technology. Because of this growth, they feel more confident. They want to have a bigger say in how the world works. They do not just want to follow the old rules made by the big, rich countries. They want to create their own ways to do things, especially in money and trade. The BRICS group is a clear sign of this change. This group started with 5 countries, but now it has 11 full members. They represent a very large part of the world's people and a lot of the world's economy. BRICS is like a symbol of this change. It shows that the world is moving from having one main power to having many powerful centers. BRICS countries are working together to build new systems. They want to use their own money more for trading with each other, instead of always using the US dollar. They are also thinking about new ways to send money internationally, different from the old systems. This change is not easy. It creates tension, like the disagreement with the United States we saw. The U.S. sees the BRICS group and other developing nations becoming powerful. They worry about their place in the world. The BRICS nations want their independence and their fair share of global influence. The rise of the Global South means the world is becoming more complex. There are more voices and more interests to consider. It is a big shift from the past, and it will shape the future for everyone. 7. More than just trade. BRICS is a group focused on money and trade, but it is also about politics. When countries join, it can be difficult. For example, the country Iran joined BRICS recently. This happened after some military actions had taken place involving the United States and other countries. This situation showed that BRICS is involved in bigger world issues than just buying and selling things. It made the relationship between the U.S. and BRICS more complex. Leaders of countries do not only think about other countries. They also think about the people in their own country. Politics at home is very important. Leaders want their people to be happy with them. They want to stay in power. The President of the United States has to think about the people who vote for him. Many of his voters like it when he looks strong. They like it when he seems to protect the country's businesses and jobs. So, when he talks about putting taxes on goods from other countries, it can make him look strong to his voters. He wants to show he is putting his own country first. This helps him in politics at home. The leaders in BRICS countries also have to think about their people. They want to show that their country is important on the world stage. They want to show that they are independent and not controlled by one big country. When they stand together and speak strongly to the U.S. president, it can make them look good to their own people. It shows they are fighting for their country's place in the world. This desire to look independent is a strong political reason for their actions. So, the disagreement between the U.S. and BRICS is not only about money or trade rules. It is also about power, world leadership, and what leaders need to do for the people in their own countries. The political needs of leaders at home make the situation more difficult. 8. The world watches. The situation between the United States and the BRICS countries was very tense. The disagreement about trade and power had become a big problem. All eyes around the world were watching to see what would happen next. Many experts were worried. They knew the risks were very high. If the two sides did not find a way to agree, the world economy could be hurt badly. A big fight over trade, like putting many extra taxes on goods, could stop trade. This could mean less money for countries and problems for many people everywhere. Businesses could lose money and prices could go up for families. The source text talks about how the world is connected. Countries buy and sell from each other all the time. If this system breaks, it is bad for everyone. It is like parts of a big machine not working together. The global economy needs countries to cooperate. So, what could happen now? There were different possibilities. The countries could continue arguing and putting more taxes on goods. This was a path to more conflict. Or the leaders could try to talk. They could look for a peaceful agreement. Maybe they could find a new way to trade that worked better for everyone. Some leaders had already said the world does not need one country to be like an emperor, telling everyone what to do. The source text mentions that the world needs countries to work together as equals. It needs wise leaders who can help the world, not just their own country. Cooperation seemed like a much better way forward than fighting. The future was not clear. Would there be more conflict or a move towards peace? The decision of these powerful countries would touch every part of the world. The hope was for talking and understanding, not more threats and disagreement. What do you think is the best way for countries to solve big problems like this?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.